Well, good morning, community. Welcome to Stroke of Genius Podcast, Survivor Experience. I'm your host, Aaron Abla. Today, we've got a special guest for you, David Figurski. David Figurski was a professor of microbiology and immunology at Columbia University. David had a brain injury in 2005 at age 57. David is a brain injury survivor, and he had a hemorrhagic uh, cemetery AVM in 2005 at age 57. Although physically with deficits, he is cognitively, like a lot of us, cognitive sharp as it can be. So let me bring David in and we'll hear a story. Hold on.
The Stroke of Genius podcast, hosted by brain aneurysm and stroke survivor Aaron Avila, sharing the experiences of survivors and CEOs. This is your destination for inspiration.
Hey, good morning, David.
Good morning, Aaron. It's good to talk with you again.
It's really great to talk to you, sir. Now, I want to get right into it because you got a fascinating story. People didn't realize, I want people to realize you were a professor at Cambridge University, correct? Or Columbia University. Amazing accomplishment in life. But at age 57, you had a brain aneurysm, correct?
Well, we never saw what caused the hemorrhage, but when they went in to fix that first hemorrhage, they found another aneurysm.
Oh, I see. So did you have a craniotomy or not?
No.
So they just coiled your brain aneurysm.
Yeah, I think so.
So what did you were a professor at Columbia University. You mentored 19 plus students to get their own PhD. And then at age 57, you had the rug of life under your feet. And you went back to work, which is amazing. After your brain injury, you actually went back to work and you tried.
Yeah, it took me a while to get back. It was about a year later, and I actually volunteered in my own lab. And then a couple of months later, I went back to work as a full-time faculty member.
Amazing. But tell me what you're doing. Where were you when this happened? What were you doing?
Man. So I used to get up really early, like 4:00 in the morning, because my company is in Manhattan. So the traffic was really terrible at the bridge crossing the Hudson River. I lived in New Jersey. And to beat the traffic, I'd leave really early, like 5:30 in the morning. And I'd get into my lab about 6:00. So when this happened to me, I was across the hall in my office. And I always started the day by doing some Tai Chi and some exercises. And while I was doing 10-ups, something exploded in my head.
Oh no. So did you lose consciousness at that point? Did you lose consciousness?
No, actually, at the time it happened, I didn't know how bad it was because I went back down the hallway. Actually, that day I was a little later because I was going to prepare a lecture at home that morning. And I went to Donna, who was just getting ready to leave for her teaching job. And I knew my vision was out of focus, but I didn't know how bad it was. But when Donna saw me, she immediately was thinking of calling the paramedics because my eye was filled with blood. Then, when I was in there, I had lots of pain on my head, and then I knew I was really in bad shape. But I never lost consciousness until the paramedics came and gave me some oxygen. Then I went into a 3-week coma.
Wow. So I'm curious, did you have any pre-warning signs of something like this?
No, I've been thinking about that. I used to exercise. I used to run every other day, and the days I didn't run, I would exercise. And I had a little feeling in my head which I could never explain. So I have a feeling that it was bleeding a little. And then that day it really bled a lot.
Yeah, I had a very similar experience to where I was having, although I had massive headaches, so before my brain aneurysm exploded in my brain. But mostly I didn't know. I thought I was I was 47 years old, and I would never thought, just like you did, probably.
Yeah.
In the mid years, it would never happen to us.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
seriously at all.
You were teaching a professor at Columbia University, impacting hundreds, if not thousands, of students' lives, changing their lives, and it's just amazing to me how brain injury will alter your life.
Yeah, it really changed a lot. But I have to say, in a way, I feel pretty lucky because, number one, I'm cognitively okay. And number two, I was already 57 when it happened. So I had a long time in my life already.
Well, I think that you bring up a really good point. Attitude. Attitude is everything when it comes to brain injury.
Yeah, I agree. It's so important. Your whole life is affected by your attitude. And even the people around you, you don't want to show them how bad you feel because you don't want them to feel bad. It's your problem.
Right. Yeah, but the attitude, having a positive attitude, David, it's almost like a gift. Because I heard you say just now, I feel good, I'm cognitive, I'm happy, I'm glad I'm alive. Your attitude shaping your future. It really is.
I agree with that totally. One of the things, my wife Donna, she has a blog, a brain injury blog, and she interviews people on. They have a written interview, and you can see the people that really do well are the people who said, "Okay, I'll do what I can with what I have."
Do what I can. Oh, wait. Oh, this famous saying, do what you can with what you have and where you're at.
Yeah.
And look at us right now. Look at what we're doing. This what YouTube, it will be viewed by hundreds, hopefully thousands of people, and will raise brain injury awareness to the world. And I really want to say thank you, Fred. It's hard to some people that have sustained brain injuries. They spiral. They put a period at the end of their life. They wait to die.
Yeah, I've seen actually. I know some people who have had injuries, and they are really different because of their injury. Other people really do very well. I mean, and it's all attitude. They can't do what they did, but they do what they can.
Well, like that gold nugget, they can't do what they did, but they do what they can. That's
Yeah.
a golden. We'll take that as a gold nugget for the audience. Do what you can. You may not be able to do what you used to do. Do what you can. You know, it's really what do you do now, David? Do you have hobbies? You bring your mind is very sharp still.
Well,
What do you do?
I'm just going to wait for you to finish. Go ahead. Okay. The one thing that's important to me now is sort of to escape. So I have a recumbent trike that I ride around, and that really is nice. I do not at all feel disabled when I ride that. And sometimes people will stop. They then realize I have a problem. And what's really interesting is once I get on the trike, I can't get off because I can't walk. So that's a problem. I like being on the trike. And the other thing I do is I'm on the computer a lot, and that's nice. I can't do what I used to do. I did all kinds of physical activities. I can't do those anymore. So I really feel very good that I can still use my brain.
Yeah, and then you're enjoying the outdoors. I'm excited to. I want to get a recumbent bike sometime.
I highly recommend it.
Now, are you paralyzed on one side or not?
No, but I'm ataxic. So on my right side, I have been affected. My vision, my swallow, my tongue. I have an ataxic right arm, and my leg on the right side is weaker.
All right, just so the audience knows, you notice actually there's a similar sound to David's voice to my voice. I have ataxia also, and it changes the way it's basically a real bad shaking, and it is affect your bimotor skills to no end. But usually ataxia is caused by damage to the cerebellum. And
Yeah,
this,
that makes sense.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so, but I wanted to talk to you about a little bit about your job. You're still able to enjoy life now.
Oh, very much.
Yeah. And
Different, but I do.
you're grateful to be alive.
Oh, very much. And so has Donna, I think. But we have a good life. It's different than it was, but we enjoy our lives.
You know, it's amazing. I like me. I love getting up early in the morning and going out and listening to birds sing, enjoying the warm weather.
Yeah.
You know, and there's so many survivors out there like us like I said earlier, that put a period up there because they can't do what they used to be able to do. So they feel life is over. And I think I really want to bring it back around to that golden nugget. Do you what did you say? Do what you may not be able to do what you used to do, but do what you can.
Yeah.
It's so true, and I want to encourage all survivors out there that are listening. Do what you can. Don't look back. Don't look at the view mirror of your life. Look forward, like David and I. Look forward to your life because there's a whole life ahead of us, right?
Yeah. I think people don't realize we've just entered a different phase of our lives. And it's really up to us to continue to be productive. We may not be doing what we did, but we are still productive. And that's important. And I think you actually did one of the interviews on Donna's blog, which is survivingbraininjury.com. But one of the things that has really fascinated me is people do the interview, they have serious brain injuries, but some of the people actually feel happier with themselves because their lives have slowed down. They take into account things they didn't notice before.
Yeah, I really want to touch on that part about enjoying. You notice people, what I'm going to say Dave and I both do. We look forward. We look forward. He said just minutes ago, we've entered a new phase of our life. Do not think your life is over after a brain injury. You remember, it is your attitude, your outlook on life, whether it continues, it goes forward, and is enjoyable. But your attitude can also affect. It can be miserable, dark, if you choose to be that way. But the point I'm trying to make, it's your choice. David, you made the choice to enjoy life still.
Yeah, that was important for me. I in the very beginning, I think when I first came out of my coma, I was a little frustrated. And then I realized this isn't helping at all. And everybody around me was trying to do their best. And my wife, Donna, was doing exceptional things. So I owed it to them to be as really as pleasant as I could. And that has continued throughout my life. It has been responsible for making my life productive and happy.
That is so true that it was up to you to make that decision to move forward. There's a saying that Will Smith says, "Oh, you're gonna fall, but always fall forward."
Yeah.
Always fall forward. Meaning, David, you and I could have stopped. I was suicidal. I woke up half paralyzed in hospital. Could speak. I was totally mute for probably 2 months. I was totally mute. I kept making sound, but you have. What do you remember? When do you remember? You remember being at work, kind of something happened to you. Well, when do you remember waking up? What do you remember?
I don't think I actually remember the moment, but it took me a few days to figure out what was going on. I had all kinds of weird ideas. Like, for example, I worried about the parking meter because I thought I drove myself to the hospital. So it was a little confusing for a while. And the other thing is, I know I had therapy. It's kind of interesting because I can remember the voices of my therapist, but no image at all. I have only black. So it's pretty weird.
Yeah, for me, I don't remember. I remember waking up. I had my brain aneurysm first, and then 2 weeks later, when I was like coma, I had a stroke. But
Wow.
I remember just waking up in the hospital, all these machines beeping. I couldn't move the left side. I mean, I couldn't speak. I was scared to death, no doubt. But you know, I'm just amazed that people look at me or look at you and go, oh, and they don't have it as bad, but they give up. They don't look forward to life.
Yeah, I am really amazed because one of the PhD students I mentored actually joined my lab after my injury. So she never knew me as not having disabilities. She only knew me after my TBI. And because I went back to work, I was able to see her graduate with her PhD.
Oh, how exciting that would have been. Someone now, I would imagine when you mentor a student to be a PhD and watch them graduate, that is the pinnacle of what you do.
Yeah, it is. Actually, it's a very good feeling, not only for them, but for me.
Yeah. So I'm curious, David. Say someone's going to survival mode like you, and they just had their brain injury. What advice would you give them as far as being a new survivor? What would you advise?
Well, the first thing I would say is it's going to take time. It will be slow, but you will recover your life totally. You may be different than what you knew. In a way, it's like your youth. You can't do what you did in your youth. That's gone. You can't do it anymore. But the only difference is with a brain injury, it can happen in a couple seconds. But the main thing is you will recover and you still have a lot of ability and make use of what you can do.
Yeah, I think if there's one thing I'm with David on that. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this show is don't give up. If you're out there survivor, don't give up. You can have life after your brain injury. And it really comes down to your attitude. It really comes down to you either rolling over, giving up, or choosing. I use the word choosing because it's a choice. You're going to make the choice to either wake up grateful for your life or wake up sad. It's up to you. So don't wake up sad, wake up happy. David is riding, you're riding in a incumbent bike. Oh, now that's just amazing to me. That's a dream of mine. I want to do that. But I think it's me. I want you. So I'd imagine when you're outside riding your bike, you're enjoying, you're just absorbing the energy of nature.
Yeah, totally. It's amazing because I don't feel disabled at all.
Oh, great. That doesn't get any better. It was back in my early days, I used to run a motorcycle. And one thing of it, getting on the bike, all my problems are in the way.
Yeah.
And what you're saying is true. I'm encouraging each and every one of you, do something that makes you happy. Do something you enjoy. If David and I could share our lives, I'm a wizard. David, you don't walk, do you? Do you walk?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Do you walk?
No, I can shuffle around the house or in the building, but outside I need the support of Donna to walk. And I can't walk very far. I can only walk a short distance. In fact, we've been looking at electric scooters so I can be more mobile outside. And I think I found one that's small enough and will do the job.
I have got I'll talk to you later, but I have a 3-wheel scooter that's collapsible that Rebecca, my wife, can put the trunk of a car and take. Yeah.
That sounds very much like the one I'm leaning to.
Yeah. So I wanted to say, it's a half an hour show. We're getting down to the last few minutes of the show. But, yeah, how do people, you're not on Facebook, are you on Facebook?
No, but if you want to learn about me, the best way is to read the book that Donna wrote. It's called Prisoners Without Bars, a caregiver sale. And I've read this book several times, not because I'm in it, because I was amazed at what my wife went through. I was in a coma, so I really didn't know what she had to do. And it was horrible. But she wrote all that down. It's a really good story to read. And it's how I learned what happened to her.
All right. Let me make sure I got it because I want people to go and buy the book. It comes Prisoner Without Bars. Correct?
Yeah, I have the book right here, actually, if I can hold it up.
Please hold it up, please. I will put the link to the book in the YouTube description. We encourage you to go and buy it. And I'm sure I've known Donna for quite a few years. I've always been impressed with her work. So I'm really excited to have you guys. Have you heard? I have Donna answer that.
Yeah, I have to say, I was totally amazed. She made all the right calls when I was in a coma. And in fact, now I still enjoy her caring. It's not as bad as it was the first couple of years, but she still does a lot. And that's important to have the support of someone like that.
Yeah, the support of my wife has been right by satellite Donna, and I'm grateful. I'm deeply grateful for what she does.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Part of what I can do, most of what I can do actually, is because she helps me.
Right. I mean, without the support of our wives, David.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm so grateful. We're down to the close show, but I want to thank you for being here. Thank you so much, David.
Aaron, thank you very much for having me.
All right, welcome. All right, you have a great day. And remember out there, audience, keep on keeping on. And please put your comment in chats. David or I will get back to you and say, tell us something. I'll put David's contact email and the book link in the video chat. But again, once again, thank you, David.
Thank you.